Welcome to another episode of Murder the Internet with John
and Rich.
And Rich, I don't know about you.
I know about me, so I'll fill you in.
Let me tell you about you before you tell me about you.
Go for it.
Your name is Rich. That's about it. That's
on the show Murder the Internet.
You're on a show called Murder the Internet with me?
Yeah. No, I'm me.
No, with me. This guy.
I am me.
This big fella right here, motherfucker.
Oh! What is two thumbs? It sounds like a Wookiee. This motherfucker.
All right, so you do that. That's all I know about you.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing memorable.
Do you spend a lot of time on the internet?
Depends. You know, sometimes I like to cruise virtual reality cyber style. You know, get on the old information superhighway. Sometimes I get trolled. And I'm like, I'm getting off the next stop.
Whoa, what's trolling? What does that mean?
Trolling is when somebody you like go to a Transformers website and you say I like GoBots. That's called trolling.
Like that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a whole website of people going, "Hey, Optimus Prime, fucking Bumblebee,"
I like
and then
GoBots.
you just go on there and say, "I like GoBots."
Also, if you go to like a Donald Trump forum, you just say, "I like GoBots." Trolling is just saying, "I like GoBots" in any forum that is not for GoBots.
That is actually would be a very effective form of trolling because nobody likes GoBots.
Yeah, but you can also go to the GoBot forum and say, "I like GoBots," but you're doing it sarcastically.
No, I think even people there would be like, "I don't know, Transformers was pretty much better."
On the GoBot forum?
On the GoBot forum.
I don't think they do that.
Yeah.
Because you imagine that the admin has to make like a certain set of rules, and number one would be, we do not talk about Transformers on the GoBot forum.
I like it when you have rules, when like there's a forum, and it's like, hey, you can say whatever you want here except this and that and this and that and this and, well, some of these too. You cannot mention my dad.
Your dad?
My dad, yeah.
Was he a Transformer or a GoBot?
He transformed into a raging monster anytime he had alcohol. He had that.
Yeah, that's definitely not a GoBot.
But the worst, called him Pessimist Prime?
I think they say Pesto Prime.
Pesto Prime. For some reason, when he would drink, he would lapse into an Italian accent. No Italian in my family whatsoever. It's all Germans and Irish.
My dad's al dente. You call him el dade.
What's the fucking matter with you fucking kids?
No, he's just pasta. He's just pasta. So why do the Transformers always have to transform into large vehicles? Well, except for the guy who had the tape machine in him. He had like the bird.
Here's my question. Why did the aliens, why were they trucks and stuff to begin with? You know what I mean?
How come they
why would they, like, how would an alien, like if we were to transform into something on another alien planet, we would know
vehicles are universal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anywhere you go, they have a Camaro.
So they're still using semi-trucks.
Yes.
On a planet that's capable of intergalactic travel.
Well, on the same note, they had a transformer that could transform into a UFO. And you'd think that'd be the huge glaring thing that people would say, look, see, they are aliens. That's a fucking UFO and it's a transformer.
Oh, that's true.
Were they designated what they could transform to in the time of birth? Like this is, you will be a yellow cab.
Yeah.
You will be a large truck.
Well, it's like when Native Americans are born. They like name them after the first thing they saw, like running elk or whatever. So I think it was the same thing.
Bad Christian.
Yep.
Things like that.
Yep.
Yeah. What about those transformers? I think they were the bad guys, but they would turn into a gigantic, like 6 of them would join together like Thundercats. And they were all.
Aren't you just thinking of Voltron?
No. They were all like work construction equipment. Like there was a cement mixer, there was like a backhoe, there was like a front hoe, there would be just a hoe, and they all joined together to like make this really stupid ass looking humanoid transformer. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, what if you're part of the team and one of your team member dies? What?
Then you just don't have a left arm anymore?
Yeah, it's like a leg.
Yeah.
So you don't get together and you just immediately tip over and cannot get up again.
It'd be better if it wasn't like a full appendage, but it was like a kneecap. Like, oh, God damn it, hold on. I'll get there eventually. Fuck, my left tendon is all messed up.
Shit, the dick transformer died. We can never reproduce. We're going to be stuck as stupid equipment for building buildings for the rest of our lives.
Point being, something that people enjoy doing on the internet is going to forums and yelling at people that they don't know, because that's what's fun. If you yell at your friends and family, there's a chance they might not talk to you anymore. But if you yell at perfect strangers, nothing bad ever happens.
Hey, hold on a second. Hey, you ready?
Yeah.
You mad? You're mad, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're mad.
I'm not.
You're mad. Listen to how you just said that. You are mad. I made you mad. You're mad. You're mad. No.
I'm getting mad now that you're saying
like I said, you're mad.
You fuck.
I knew you were mad.
Oh, fuck you.
That's the words of a madman. And I'm not talking about the TV series on AMC. You were an actual man who is mad.
You mean Mad Men?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, you're a Mad
Which
Man.
was not a sequel to Mad Max, like I thought.
No.
I thought it'd be like, well, there was Mad Max, there's just one guy, and then there's Mad Men.
How was he Mad Max because he was angry or mad as in insane?
Well, let's see, he was in Australia.
Yeah,
So what
he
does
was
mad
insane
mean down there? Does it mean insane? I don't know.
No, I was just basing on the fact that it's Australia. It's Australia,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
they're
I love it. It's
insane.
like it's this apocalyptic wasteland in Australia, and you're like, just kind of looks like Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is basically what I think of Australia is that already. It's not real. It's like Escape from New York was shot in East St. Louis. Yeah, and they didn't really change anything. It was exactly the same.
I liked
They
all
didn't
the
get to do
Italian
anything.
ripoffs of Mad Max. I don't know if you saw them, but it was like 2017 Texas Gladiators and Warrior of the Wasteland, Warrior of the Lost World, things like that.
This is like angry Gestapo.
No. It was just the same thing with Richard Harrison usually.
Oh.
And they're just driving these vehicles that look like slices of pie with spikes on them. They're always triangular, and they have this like 17-barreled shotgun that's used in every movie because that was like the only prop they had.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is just like, hey, you want to be in our movie? Okay, well then get a futuristic outfit and just show up. And if it's got a swastika on it, that's cool. You can bring that and wear that too. Because there's these guys raiding this camp. One of them has this giant swastika on him.
Huh.
And everybody else, they're just dressed like the future where they've got shoulder pads with spikes and shit.
How long was it after the post-apocalypse that everybody decided to start dressing like that? Because there's no amount of time that would go by where I would think, hey, you know what? I need to make a hat, a helmet made out of...
A football helmet with a skull on it.
Yeah, with skulls on it. I need to find a head that's even bigger than mine and put it on my head and walk around with that. That's what I need. When did they decide to do that?
And when did they decide that the guy who would be the most powerful one would be in the chair made of human skulls?
You know what? That's when they tell you build a fallout shelter. They don't tell you to do that. What they should do is say, hey, this fallout shelter comes with a throne of skulls.
Yeah, see, that's what I would do just to trick people. Say it's the end of the Earth. The beginning of the new Earth, which is shittier Earth.
Earth 0.0. Yeah.
I just make myself a lair, make myself a seat made out of skulls, and people would instantly respect me. Because they'd be like, man, this guy's got his own lair. He's got a chair made out of skulls. He's going to be hot shit. And they join my gang. Then we'd have them go, raid all these helpless, defenseless caravans and whatnot. I'd be rolling in water.
Because that's payment in the future is water. Even though we have like tons of bottled water that you could drink.
Well, right now, if you want to pay with water, they usually don't accept it. And I've tried that before.
What if you're trying to buy water?
With water?
With water.
Is it old saying you can't buy water with water? You can't fight a fire with fire. You can't buy water with water.
We didn't start the fire, and we didn't sell the water.
But we'll let it burn, baby.
That's right. You know what I read online because of all of the, we're all going to die because of the president.
Did we die yet?
Stuff. No, I wish. But I read, like, if you don't have a fallout shelter, what you do is you just go to your basement, find like a big table, stack as much stuff on top
like
of
a card table?
Yeah, anything, really. Yeah, like stack as much stuff on top of the table as possible. That will protect you from the fallout. If you just stay underneath the table, it'll protect you from the radiation. And I remember reading that and going, that really seems like too much work. I don't really think I'm going to do that. Like, I'm just going to die. Well, I'll put my family underneath the table, but me,
I'd get some like bungee cable and strap the table to my back, and then I could be a mobile fallout shelter.
That's a good idea.
And I could charge people to sit underneath me.
Right.
I'd just be like, hello?
Hi. Do you have a table?
No.
Well, would you like me? I have one on my back. Would you like me? You get underneath me and just wait out the apocalypse?
Do you have irritable bowel syndrome?
I do.
Can you control your urinary tract?
No, I can't.
Yes, the answer is yes to both of those.
I will just pee and poop all over the table, which will also protect you from the fallout.
And you could charge them by the minute. So if they don't pay up, then you just kind of crawl away from them as they try to crawl at the same space as you. The nuclear fallout is raining from the sky, and you see all these men with table straps to their back like human turtles. I like it.
So, yeah, and then that obviously gets into the area of politics, because that's what most of the internet is now, is arguing about politics.
I'm good at arguing.
Remember when you used to just shut the fuck up about stuff like that? You didn't bring it up because you didn't want to make people uncomfortable. Well, now you can just go on Twitter and say whatever you want, and everybody has to just accept it because you're just a floating head in a circle. They can't get angry at that.
That does sum me up perfectly.
So how do you argue when you're on the internet?
First of
Give
all,
some tips for those people listening who are like, Rich is so fucking good at arguing.
Well, most people don't know this, but I did start the internet. So I know all the rules. I know how it works.
That Wired.
I know how to beat the internet. I'm level like 300.
Wow.
I can beat the internet anytime I want. So the first thing that you do is you find a popular opinion, like air. Oxygen is good. It's good to breathe. And I show up and I say like, yeah, maybe if you're a half-wit.
That's what they want you to believe, but breathing all that air is gonna turn you into a frog.
Yeah, here's something. You know how they landed on the moon? No air there. How did they survive?
Oh.
And then I draw the logical conclusion that Earth is the original moon. And then people say, my God, this guy was right about everything.
So the Earth was the original moon.
Yes,
so
before the moon, there was the Earth.
So we came from the moon?
No.
Oh.
We came from the fertile soil of God's green loins.
Okay, so God ejaculated us?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, this is another fun thing to talk about on the internet is religion. People love to talk about religion.
They're very open-minded about it.
Oh, man. So many opinions just accepted and debated without artifice or rage or emotion, what I like,
Here's what I don't like about women video games, that they exist.
Women in video game?
Yeah.
Yeah, all video games should just be men only. Except for
heterosexual men.
If you're saving a woman.
Yeah,
in a video
that's good.
Game, like in Double Dragon
I don't
or
want to
Mario.
save a man. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's fucking
if
weird.
you're a man, you save yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to save you.
Yeah, why should I bother?
What if it's a man in a woman's outfit?
Wait. What if you're a bad enough dude and the president has been kidnapped by ninjas?
What if you're playing a game called The Crying Game? And you think you're saving a woman, but you got nothing coming.
Maybe when you get to the end of Bad Dudes, you find out that the president is actually a woman, and they're like, you thought it was a man, didn't you? This whole time, you fucking misogynistic prick. It's just this long screen that just goes on for like 15 screens about what an asshole you are.
And it's got your points up top, and they're slowly going down. That'd be great.
All right, so what are your rules for arguing?
First of all, there are no rules.
Oh.
What you want to do is
Isn't that a rule?
No.
That's a rule.
What you want to do is you never want to be on the defensive. You always want to be attacking people. If somebody says something is wrong with what you said, you attack what they said.
Okay, well, teach me.
Okay, what are we going to argue about?
The color purple.
Okay, the movie?
No, not the movie, just literally the color. Does it exist?
Whoopi Goldberg is what you want to argue about.
I'm telling you no. I'm not saying I want to argue about the movie. I'm saying I want to argue about the actual color purple.
Well, see, this would be too easy for me.
Okay.
So
Does the color purple exist?
I just say, okay, this is how I start off. Actually, the color purple is not really a color since it's a combination of the colors red and blue. Bam.
Yeah, but I would just counter with that anything other than primary.
Okay, then counter it.
Other than primary colors, everything is just a mixture of colors. So
Okay,
that doesn't mean they don't exist. You yourself are just a mixture of your parents' DNA. That means that you are a person. Just because you're a mixture of things doesn't mean you're not a singular thing.
You ready for my reply?
Uh-huh.
You're gay.
Oh, shit.
There we go.
God damn it.
Yep.
All right, so that's
You mess with the best and you die like the best.
So you call somebody gay. Mm-hmm. That's it. You win.
That's pretty much it.
So the first person to call the other person gay wins.
No. Then I announce you're so stupid, I'm putting you on my block list.
Ooh.
The whole thing about the internet is getting the last word. That's the most important thing. Mm-hmm. Just like you're an idiot. No, you're an idiot. No, you're an idiot. Well, I'm putting you on my block list. Well, I'm putting you on my block list. Well, I can't even read what you said because you're on my block list. Well, I can't read what you said because you're on my block list. Keep going back and forth until one of you die.
See, that seems counterintuitive because it seems like the more time you're yelling at somebody else,
the more time you're winning.
The more time you're losing from, being able to participate in actual life or just doing something you enjoy on the internet besides arguing.
But what else is there on the internet?
That's a good point. That's right. What is more fun than arguing? That's a good
No,
point.
just what is there on the internet besides arguing?
There's
virtual pets.
Virtual pets.
But you can argue about virtual pets.
Yeah, Tamagotchis.
Huh?
Huh?
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
They're virtual pets. They're not real, but you might think they are. You could marry one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take the argument that you could not marry a virtual pet.
Slippery slope.
That
See,
you
that's
can't just yell
one.
logical fallacies.
Slippery slope.
That doesn't.
If you can't marry a virtual reality pet, then what's next? You can't marry another human being. Slippery slope.
But you can't marry people that aren't real. Yeah.
How do you know they're not real?
Because you're gay. Shit. Yeah!
Man, you nailed me on that one.
Damn it. See? All right. So if, say you're arguing with somebody and they haven't brought up the fact that you're gay yet, and you haven't brought up the fact that they're gay yet, you've forgotten how to win the argument by saying
you're bad at arguing.
Well, fine, but say you're bad at arguing. What other tactics could you use besides saying you're gay?
Okay, so which point are we at? You're talking about like purple, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, so hey, purple is a real thing. Just because it's a mixture of things doesn't mean that it's not real.
Well, actually, the military conducted studies in 1967. You can go look them up.
Okay.
At DARPA, proving that purple is not real.
Well, I can't look. Where are these studies at?
There you go.
Can you link them to me?
No, I can't.
I'm not going to be your Google for you.
It's called, do some research yourself, sheeple.
There you go. Okay. All right. That's good.
And then also, you can type in all caps too. That shows that you're talking loud.
That's good. I mean, doesn't that waste bandwidth though? That's what I worry about. A little bit
more, but the winner of an argument is also the person with the most bandwidth.
Ah.
He who has the most bandwidth shall always winneth thy argument.
See, I have Google Fiber.
Ben
so
Franklin.
Does that mean that I automatically win?
It means that you're very healthy with your diet and you can poop with impunity. Congratulations, sir. You've done it. You have really done it.
All right. So arguing on the internet, that's it. Call people gay.
You know what I hate?
And mention DARPA.
I hate those like beer review sites where every single stupid beer that's from a microbrew gets a 99% rating.
You know what I hate? And it goes along with this. I hate when I like something and then I try to just find out a little more about it and realize, holy shit, there's way too much information about this one thing and I just wanted a little bit and now it's like this whole these people spend their entire lives
documenting every single
thing. Yeah. I just like beer and I just wanted to find out what's a good local brewery around me besides, Boulevard or whatever. And guess what? There's like 50. And if you don't drink this one, you're drinking pig shit.
And also you have to have a special beer goblet and pour it at the right angle, at the right temperature. So basically, 99 out of 100 times you're doing something wrong drinking beer.
The reason I drink beer instead of wine is because I find drinking wine to be kind of pretentious. And also I don't like wine. So I drink beer, right?
Which is now pretentious.
Thank you, internet.
Well, see, and then people like post the pictures of their beer drinking setup. I swear to God they do. No, it's real. And then they're like, I have this special kind of cup that reduces the amount of head and ferments the barley in my oak tree. Whatever.
Are they drinking beer in an oak tree?
They're not Keebler elves.
Okay.
That's a whole different thing.
Beebler elves.
And then, so like the scores will always be like 98, 99. And for some reason, all the liquor stores now put that on the shelves.
Right.
Like, this was rated 99 out of 100 by Pretentious Assholes Limited.
Yeah.
And then, so you get it, and it just tastes like, drinking from a pan of motor oil. Like, boy, I can really see why I like this.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is they'll tell you that something that is awful is great, and if you don't like it, they're like, I guess your palate just hasn't adjusted.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Let me shit in your mouth a little bit, and you don't like the way that tastes? Well, I guess your palate is just not as sophisticated.
Let me tell you how much I've refined my own feces. This is a triple filtered bottle of my own shit. Yes, triple filtered asshole. It's gone through the regurgitation process. It's gone through the meditation process.
Right.
It's great. Yeah, and then they've got these reviews, and I cannot write or think about writing 12 paragraphs about a beer. I'll just be like, yeah, it tastes good, kind of fruity.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Next thing.
But these people are just like paragraph on paragraph. And they all use thesaurus.com to figure out these big words like, this bountiful harvest of a summer's brew makes you relish the time that you were wee tot on a playground. And then they just keep going on like initial hints of orange, zesty orange, and a milder chartreuse flair to the blah, blah. And it's just like, it's just reading. It's like reading words.
Right. And I like to say, when this will be good for a night out on the town. You don't go on a fucking night out on the town. You do not. You sit in your basement drinking your fucking beer and pretending you're not an alcoholic because you can crap out a bunch of paragraphs about the beer. That's all it is. I found that out about wine drinkers pretty early on. My dad, as I mentioned before, alcoholic. And he would drink these giant fucking Costco bottles of wine and be like, I'm not drunk because I'm drinking wine. So it's sophisticated and I'll fucking And then he wouldn't finish the sentence.
He fell asleep on the remote.
It's the same thing. It's just, I'm not an alcoholic because I'm writing things about this. I'm just sipping it. No, you're fucking dependent on that for your happiness.
Well, I'm not a drug user. I only buy the highest quality drugs.
Is what I want is some heroin reviews.
I don't even know where to go to get heroin.
I could figure it out. Like,
how would you crunch that nut?
Well, I guess it's one of those things where I know somebody who can give me lesser drugs than heroin, who probably knows somebody who could get me actual heroin.
Oh, so like once you get your foot in the scene, then...
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's like you go to a liquor store and you're like, hey, you know somebody who can sell me.
Can't buy heroin.
Like, well, there's Billy back in the back. He can, and then you go back to Billy and you're like, hey, Billy, could you get me Coke? And then you go to the Coke guy, and the Coke guy, you're like, hey, do you know anybody who can get me heroin?
And each one of them gets commission.
Yep.
5%, right?
All of them. It just goes down the chain. It's a pyramid scheme.
I don't like heroin because it reminds me about women in video games, and they should not be there.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had somebody call my 8-year-old sexist because she liked playing as girls instead of boys in a video game. I'm not kidding. It was a Gamergator.
Was it you that called her sexist?
I did it afterwards. But the guy was just saying, the most important thing in video games is having a very detailed, complex backstory for the characters. And if you just play because you can play as a girl, then you're very sexist. I'm like, my 8-year-old daughter, she plays games where she just likes dressing up the character because it's a woman. I go, she's sexist? He goes, yes, if she doesn't appreciate the backstory of the characters and instead is just fixated on these skin-deep dressing of a woman. And I'm just like, she just dresses up dolls, but I'll let her know she's sexist.
Yeah, apparently my 1-year-old son is also racist because his favorite doll is a Woody doll.
Oh, man.
From Toy Story, Woody being white. He just plays with that all day long. Doesn't care about Woody's backstory about, him being a cowboy. A lot of cowboys were black. Doesn't care about that. Has never once said to me, but Dad, was Woody for or against the abolition of slavery? Never, not once has said that to me. You know what he says a lot to me? He goes, yeah! Like that, a lot. All the time.
What a gem.
It fucking
that
pisses me
kid's
off.
a keeper.
No, he's not. It pisses me off.
That kid's
how
a loner.
Racist the kid is.
Yeah.
That is really the problem is we have these this need to establish identity. And it used to be you'd establish identity by going, I work at the factory. I build cars. I was in the big war.
I'm a factory man.
I'm a
war man is what they call them.
I'm a lumber dude.
If you're in the war, they would just expect everybody to call you the war man.
Warman.
The warman.
But now I think our identities are like, well, I like pale ales, and I like apple, and I like,
It's about attaching your ego to a third-party company that gives no shit about you.
Right.
And you defend them with all of your life, like the Star Citizen people who sunk $12,000 into buying JPEG spaceships. And they're like, no, you see, just because it crashed doesn't mean that it's bad. He just needs 7 more years to develop. This is self-published. He can make a great game. Really, it's going to work.
I resist that. Anytime I'm getting too into something, I'm like, nah, I'm done. Like I said with the beer, like I'll go online and be like, oh, I'm kind of interested in beer. Not anymore.
No.
Nope.
Because the fans of anything on the internet turn off everybody else.
Like the worst guitar players I ever met were the guys who were like, dude, all right, so you have to have like a fucking Fender Stratocaster with the sawed down bridge. And if you aren't replacing the nut, you get it. Those were the worst fucking guitar players because they're spending all their time trying to make sure their guitar's perfect. Whereas like if you take, a guitar player, like even I don't know, Jack White or something like that. Who's a good guitar player, and you ask him about his guitar, he'll be like, I kind of like this one. It's a Gretsch, I guess. I don't know. And I play it through this amp. I don't fucking know.
It's a Gretsch?
I don't know. Whatever it
What's
is.
a Gretsch?
It's a type of guitar. I don't fucking know.
I thought you were making it up.
No, it's a real thing. Yeah.
Gretsch.
It's the same thing with anything else. Like, the more you're into it, the worse you are at it.
Well, because...
like sex. If you spent all of your time reviewing sexual position, like, you're just reading the Kama Sutra over and over again.
Don't people do that with, hookers?
Yeah.
Just like,
I'm going to try this one out.
She knocked 3 times on my door instead of twice, which I explicitly said, so I would thought it was her.
Oh, there's I think I told you about this last week, but it wasn't on the podcast. Or maybe I didn't. I can't remember. Somebody on my show, a texter, sent me a link to this place called rubmaps.com, which is a website you can go to review massage parlors that give you jerk-offs at the end. Mm-hmm. Then they review them. Like you go on there and you sign up and you read what the people say. Like, well, what I liked about Cindy is she used an underhand type of pump, and she didn't use too much lube. And the lube that she used was silicone based, which I appreciate because the water based stuff dries out too quickly.
They don't mention how good the massage was.
No. I just want to know did she have calluses on her hands? That's about it. That's all I would want to know.
There needs to be a field. Do they speak English?
Because no.
By default, it's on no. And it's a drop down and everything else says no.
Do they know the difference between R's and L's? Because
do they get angry at something that you can't understand halfway through and start yelling at other people? Yes.
My favorite job I ever had was I was delivering for a Chinese restaurant, and the owner was Chinese, spoke Mandarin, and her manager was Japanese and spoke Japanese, but they both spoke one or the other. And they would just go back and forth yelling about us, the drivers and the cooks and stuff who were working there. And you never knew that they were talking about you, except for it'd be like Mandarin, Jonathan! Mandarin.
That's Mandarin for truck.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
see,
They're just talking about trucks then.
Yeah, you thought that this was about you.
Yeah. But it might have been positive. Maybe they're like, man, I fucking love Jonathan. Ooh, that tight ass that he has on him. I bet that pooper just craps out.
Deliver the shit out of that food.
I bet he could crap out some rubies.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I first saw you. I thought that guy's a real ruby crapper.
It was when you first came in. You're like, hey, what's up? You look like you could shit some jewels.
I was like, do you have precious materials betwixt your buttocks? That's the first thing I said to you.
Yeah.
And the answer was yes.
All right. So what else do people argue about on the internet?
Think of something. That's what they argue about.
Shit.
I don't think there's anything that people could not
People argue
about.
It's better to wear two different kinds of socks.
You can argue anything.
Well,
that's the thing about the internet is.
Let's just make up the most random thing you could argue about and then try to argue about
Nostrils.
it. Nostrils. Good or bad? I'm going to say bad.
Nostrils.
What do you need them for? I breathe through my mouth.
Yeah, well, if you like having non-filtered oxygen come through and you like having thousands of little tiny mites into your chest cavity.
I do. Don't fucking fetish shame me, okay?
I tried sleeping with my mouth open once. I sucked in so many dust mites that I gained 3 pounds. It was disgusting.
Were you just shitting out dust mites?
No, I digested them.
Oh, you digested
I used them for
so
protein.
broke it down. So what's the problem then? You're complaining about this like this is a bad thing.
No, I was bragging,
Yeah,
actually.
so you woke up the next day, you're like, I don't need to get breakfast. I'm full of dust mites.
I woke up and I said, wow, I'm not mighty hungry for once. That's what I said.
Mighty hungry.
Huh.
Yeah.
I left my opponents in the dust.
Yeah. Has anybody ever argued about whether wearing hats is okay?
Yeah, I remember the pussy hats.
Oh, yeah, the pussy hats. And the MAGA hats.
Yep.
Yep.
There's literally nothing that people have not
Could I
argued
get a
about.
pussy hat that says MAGA on it?
There's nothing that anybody has not argued about or had sex with on the internet.
Me.
Sometimes both.
Me.
You're not a thing on the internet. We're not talking people. We're talking about...
Oh, you mean inanimate objects. Okay. I mean, I don't move a lot, though.
No. Yeah. But you're still animate.
That's true.
I mean, blinking. That's very animated.
When I do it, it's very animated.
It is. You're the best blinker
I make
I've
a
seen.
huge deal. You can hear it. That's what we have to filter out a lot.
Yeah.
You have to put a special EQ on it just to filter out my
They
huge
go-
eyelashes
they go-
bashing against each other. Listen, you can hear it. Yeah. Yep.
It's so gross.
Proud of it, though.
Why?
When I was born, the doctor pulled me out by the eyelashes.
I
He just
had-
held me.
I had eyelid surgery, you know.
Really? For what?
At first, my eyelids started on the bottom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not the top. I didn't have any
So they
top
were
eyelids.
upside down?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because when the doctor pulled me out upside down, and that's how your eyes get like that.
So wait,
Also, my ass was on my skull.
are you sure you weren't just upside down?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So they just rearranged your entire body because you were upside down at first?
It's called helping.
So like your legs were where your arms are, your ass is where your head was.
No. I just had an asshole on my head.
Oh.
On the back of it. So
Okay.
you can't say, oh, it was your mouth. Ha, ha, ha. No, it was not that.
I had, speaking of arguing, I had a Nazi email me recently wanting to
You lucky duck.
wanting to be on my show to argue about the finer points of being a Nazi.
I know you never replied to me.
No. Actually, I did reply to you. You didn't reply back.
Oops.
I went, Rich, knock it off.
You said Reich.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Well, I didn't want to out you.
I'm the third Rich.
Yeah. But I love that, though. He was like, I will come on your show and demonstrate to you the amazing perils that we in the white race face and like all this shit. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to have you on the show just so people can yell at you. I mean, I feel bad for you. You know what I mean?
You could be like Wally George. You know,
Who's
get
that?
this. You know who Wally George is?
No.
Oh, man. I'll have to show you some other time.
Okay.
He was the father of Combat Talk TV.
Ah.
And he would have a guest on who would just be like, they'd come out, and it'd be like the beginning of a World Wrestling Entertainment match. We're just like, all of you guys in the audience are stupid idiots. I'm the smartest man. And everybody would be like, boo! We're not dumb, boo! And they would always show close-ups of people in the crowd, and they'd be this mutant-looking motherfuckers, like, you know, with my first mustache growing off, and they'd be wearing sunglasses even though they're inside. They'd be doing weird body gesticulation and then holding up a sign that says one of the letters from Wally George, but he was out of position with the rest of them. So it's like Lawy George or something like that. And then the guy would sit down, and Wally George would always feign this remarkable outrage. He'd be like, hey, hey. And he'd be talking to the audience. He'd be like, hey, you guys. And the audience would be interrupting him, by the way, by cheering or booing. You see this guy over here? Yeah, this guy? He makes Pee Wee Herman look like Sylvester Stallone. That's it. He actually said that. And now they say it once, he said it twice in the same episode about two different people. And then it cuts to the crowd who starts clapping jubilantly because he nailed this guy.
Made two references that people got.
And then it cuts back to the guest, and the guest is just kind of stone-faced, just like, Yeah, so Wally George was great. Everybody who went to Wally George show, this was in Southern California, utter mutants. Every single one.
What was this on? The 70s, 80s? When?
80s.
80s,
yeah.
okay.
And it'd be on public access. It was in, I think it was filmed in Orange County somewhere. But he was the dad of Rebecca Romaine Stamos.
Really?
And she legally had her last name changed.
I want to worship that man's balls then. You
know his balls is dead along with the rest of them.
I want to take them. I'll dig them up out of the ground.
He had a photo of Ronald Reagan and John Wayne in the background in the spaceship, the Challenger. It was great, but all his stuff would be like, he would occasionally get this guest on who was pro-abortion, and then the pro-abortion guy would actually bring a fax. He's like, okay, Wally, if you don't believe in abortion, then who's going to take care of these kids? You know, are you going to take care of these kids? You're going to have a Wally George Foundation for the kids who weren't aborted and don't have any parents to take care of them? And then Wally George would just be flustered. He'd just be like, look at this guy.
Look over there.
He's saying stupid words. What do you think? He just called all you stupid. Are you stupid? What do you think? And then the crowd would just get all up in arms. The other guy would just be like, oh, God.
It'd be great if that guy said all that stuff and Wally George was just, hey, look over there, and just ran out of the studio.
No, he wouldn't even be that complicated. See, that's way above his level. He'd just be like, you know who's stupid? You're the one who's stupid. Wow. Crowd goes nuts. It was great.
So
I love Wally George.
Proto Jerry Springer.
It was so many levels below Jerry Springer.
It was worse than Jerry Springer.
Yes.
Did they have chairs?
Yes.
Because for a while, Jerry Springer, I don't know if they have, because I haven't seen it in like 10 years, but for a while they got rid of the chairs. So they're like, what's the point? Look, these people don't have enough energy to get up out of the chairs. So let's not make it complicated. Let's just have them stand on stage so they don't have to waste the energy that we want for them to use throwing punches, getting out of the chair. Well,
and the thing about Wally George, his audience was that, like, every single one of them looks like they were put together wrong. Like this is like before
those flip books where you put like an elephant head.
They were like alpha versions, alpha takes of human beings, where God's like, okay, I got to fix all this shit later.
Yeah, they were the Star Citizens.
Yeah, and God, the guests would always do things like, he would try to touch Wally George's flag, and Wally George would slap his hand and look at the audience and say, "What? Hey, what's this guy think he's doing? He's trying to touch the American flag. He's not American." Everybody goes, "Boo, boo!" It was great.
So I love Wally George. That's how you argue.
In the 80s.
In the 80s. How do you argue now? Like if we were doing that now, how would we do it?
You're gay.
And that's the end of the show. Would the show be called "You're Gay"?
No,
and because the first one to say you're
then
gay
everybody
wins.
would know what the crux of the show was about. It'd be like, who wants to say you're gay? And then the question would be answered by the person who says you're gay.
Right.
And it'd be "you're" spelled Y-O-U-R.
What I like is it used to be easy to figure out who was the racist on the internet, and now it seems like everybody's racist.
Yeah, and if they're not racist, they become racist.
And here's the problem with like having the neo-Nazi on my show or having like a Klansman on Jerry Springer and stuff like that. Is like it used to be you would have that stuff on just to point out
who the bad guy
these people are. So you know who the bad guy is. And I think people did that so much that enough people in the audience were watching going, no, I actually agree with that guy. Yeah. That guy's okay. And it normalized them to the point where now it's fine to have a fucking Klan rally and a neo-Nazi rally. And there will people be actually defending them. Well, they're not as bad as those BLM motherfuckers.
Yeah, actually.
Bacon, lettuce, mayonnaise pieces of shit.
I hate the Sandwich Brothers.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, just go into a sub shop and leave me the hell alone.
Guess what? My sandwich matters too.
Really?
Yep.
Tell me about your sandwich.
Well, my sandwich doesn't have bacon, lettuce, or mayonnaise.
What's on it?
It's bread.
That's called bread.
It's a good old-fashioned American
Bread.
sandwich.
No, it's a bread.
It's 2 pieces of bread.
You have a bread.
Well, it's air, I
Double
guess.
bread.
2 pieces of bread with
Double
some
bread
air.
weird.
Yeah. that's
Jonathan,
what they call
double
it.
bread weird.
And I would just eat that, and people would be like, what are you having? And I'd be like, this delicious sandwich. You'd be like, that's not a sandwich. It's 2 pieces of bread. And be like, oh, we're doing this again,
And then
are we?
you throw a trash can through a Starbucks window.
Yep.
That's how it works.
And scream at
Because they're the real terrorists.
Really, yeah, because they misspelled my name.
How do they spell it?
They spelled, well, my name is John.
I before E, except after we.
My name is spelled Jonathan. No H before the, well, there's an H eventually, but. Okay.
Silent.
So anyway, my name is John, Jon. Sometimes people put an H in there. Went to Starbucks one time, it was all H's.
I went to Starbucks, and to show how patriotic I am, I told them my name was Robert E. Lee. Spelled Roberty.
Right?
Lee.
They have a problem with that?
Yes, they did. They said, oh, we recognize the folly of our ways. Let's build the statues again, is what they said. I was like, I'd like a Frappuccino and you to rebuild all the Confederate statues. In the name of me, Robert E. Lee. Statues are still down, though.
That sucks. Well, it's Starbucks. They'll get to eventually. Jeff Bezos will probably buy them out, and then they'll make the statues.
Yeah, so for every...
After he's done with Whole Foods and remaking Whole Foods in a Confederate image.
Well, finally, it'll be whole again.
Yep.
It used to be Whole Foods, just like a
Just
hole
like
that
the
you would
South
dig.
used to be whole before we fractured it
What
with
are
our
we-
war of northern aggression.
What are we doing with all these fucking statues that we're tearing down?
I think we're melting them down and to make one gigantic statue. that
Oh,
we're gonna put in the
Statue
middle
of Liberty
Tennessee.
2.0.
Right. It's gonna reach the moon. It's gonna pierce the sky. They're gonna melt it down and just make it huge in the middle of Tennessee. It's just gonna keep going and going and going and going, and people will be like, "What the fuck is that thing?" Yeah, that's
Will
what
it
you get.
overshadow Dolly World? That's my question.
It's going to be on top of Dolly World.
Oh my
You're not going
God.
to be able to get into Dolly World because of the statue.
So it's going to be like the Earth's boner.
Pretty much, yeah. You said Statue of Liberty. It's more like just a giant dick that's going to keep going up into the sky.
The Earth's boner.
Earth's boner.
I thought there was that dick who kept on going into sky, Elon Musk or whatever.
Whoa!
That's right.
Yeah, I didn't know we were getting xenophobic here.
Are we?
Well, he's from South Africa, I think.
That was a good game. Xenophobia.
I can't believe you remember that game.
Why? I remember everything
don't
about video
think-
games. I'm a gamer.
I
Pro
don't
gamer,
remember
true
anything
gamer.
about xenophobia other than being 5 and trying to pronounce what the fuck that word
You
was.
play as a duck.
What?
Remember?
No.
One of the guys was a duck.
Okay.
The
I remember there were,
controls were
aliens,
shit.
obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had a phobia of the aliens. You had alienophobia.
Right. Which makes sense. Yeah, you should be afraid of them.
And then you just...
They come in the house and be like, you got any work? And you'd be like, no, get the fuck out.
I'm
Where are your
phobia of
papers?
you.
Yeah,
You triggered me.
I'm full of phobia.
If somebody triggers you because they're a xeno, can you sue them?
Ooh. If they're not an American citizen?
I hate...
I mean, what's the point of suing them then? I mean, they got nothing.
We need to use hedge mazes as a way to punish people.
Yeah, instead of building a wall, how about just a giant hedge
Yes.
on the border?
Because
if they can
first of
navigate
all-
their way through it, there you go. But you can just get over a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with these hedges, they'd be pointy and tall.
Yeah.
And
It'd be
plus, their
huge.
nature. Their nature. Wall doesn't come from nature.
Oh,
it
we
comes
got a
from
problem
man.
with that now, do we, environmentalist libtards?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And just be this huge hedge maze. If you hit a dead end, there'd be something awful there, like a dog that eats you, a bomb, some jewels that you have to eat and then shit out later.
In the middle, there'd be the Magatar.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a fucking man with a bald eagle's head, and he's got knives.
Yeah, for
that-
feathers?
When he moves the knives, they just start singing that Lee Greenwood song.
Oh, Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. And also, we should embed magnets in immigrants. Like, in their head, we embed these giant, powerful magnets.
Oh, so we
so
can just-
when we want to remove them from the
Got it.
States, we just
Brilliant.
have one of those cranes with the magnet thing. Suck it up, all the illegal immigrants.
Well, what do you think we're building the giant statue for? Building that so we can put a crane out.
I thought we
on
were
it
just
and
building it so we
swing
could see a
over.
giant dick.
Well, yeah, that's part of it.
Is
too.
it multi-purpose?
It's multi-purpose. Yeah, it's aesthetic and it has a purpose.
Pleasing to the eye, pleasing to the thigh.
Function over form.
I don't know who that is. Is
Neither.
that a rapper?
Yeah, that's
Function over form?
MC function over form.
He's like the intelligent rapper, like Deltron Zero. You know, he would just rap about the future and hard drives and getting viruses in your RAM. That was Deltron Zero.
Deltron Zero. I like the hedge maze thing for the illegal immigrants. So
Hedge
that's-
mazes aren't used enough in movies these days. Like in the 70s, there was a lot of hedge mazes in movies.
because everyone's like, it'll just be a ripoff of The Shining. Fuck that.
Yeah.
So what?
It's
Everything
like,
else is a ripoff of The Shining.
Yeah, like hedge mazes didn't exist before The Shining.
Right, of course they
Bullshit.
did. Yeah, I think there was like 2 or 3.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a hedge maze in one of the Resident Evil games when they I forgot who it was. It was like this tiny Napoleon guy. He's like, Leon, you've made it this far, but you will never escape my diabolical hedge maze. And like the only thing that happens is like two dogs come out and chase you and you kill them. And then, Leon, you escaped my diabolical hedge maze. Fuck you. And then you eventually kill him. I think that's Resident Evil 4.
What if you're getting through the hedge maze and you just stop and you go, you know what, I'm just going to fucking live here now.
Like a live-in hedge maze?
Yeah, live in hedge maze. Then they could just live there and there you go.
The dogs would eat you.
At least we're sending dogs after them?
Yeah. Well, we've got to have something patrolling the hedge maze.
The fucking Magatar.
Golems? We could have golems.
Does he, maybe he's just the head of it and then he sends the dogs and the golems out.
Release the golems.
Yeah,
That's a phrase that's been popularized by various movies.
On Red Hats, yeah. Release the golems.
He's slow-moving clay motherfucker. Okay, make the golems go faster now. We can't do that.
Who is the worst movie monster? Because you watch the worst movies of all time. And I always wonder that whenever I think of what's the worst. Like for me, like the worst movie monster would be like The Nothing in The Neverending Story. Because what the fuck was that? You know, nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've seen much worse than that.
I have to say the creatures from Things are the worst.
What's Things?
They're like, it's this movie made by people with brain problems that doesn't at any point come near sanity. This guy and this woman, they tried to have a baby, but they couldn't because she was barren in the loinal area. So they went to this mad scientist.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but my great-grandfather was barren loin area.
Really?
True, yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Congratulations on that.
You're welcome. I'm sorry. Back to your story.
And so the evil Dr. Lucas, they went to him, even though he was the evil Dr. Lucas. And in the opening scene, they show him pulling out somebody's tongue with some tweezers for some reason.
That's how you know he's evil.
Yeah, and he's going, seriously, that is his laugh. And then you have these two guys come in with another body. And Dr. Lucas, even though he has his doctorate in something, he just kind of gets off and just kind of messing around with people, like pulling off their skin and saying, look how this works.
That's his catchphrase, look how this works?
No, it was something stupid like that. I was paraphrasing.
Wow.
And then he has an assistant who just kind of disappears. And it turns out that he's making evil ants. They're like these little ant creatures. And they're not very powerful. They can be stepped over. And there's a scene where they're all asleep for some reason. They're in the basement. And
ants are known for sleeping. Every time you walk past an ant, it's fucking like, whoa, I'm working.
These are Dr. Lucas's ants.
Oh, okay.
They're called sleepy ants, patent pending. They have to go down to the basement to put a new breaker in the breaker box. And they're saying, quiet, be careful. We don't want to wake them up. And so they're gingerly stepping around these ants. Well, they're like large. I don't know what they are. They're like gigantic ant legs coming out of rice or something.
So the worst movie monster are the sleeping ants from that movie.
And Dr. Lucas.
And Dr. Lucas, okay.
In the end showdown, when Dr. Lucas was saying, hey, it was you who murdered them. You're the murderer. You're going to go to the jail now. No, I didn't murder them. They're these evil ants, Dr. Lucas. You're full of shit. You're going to jail for a long time. I got to show this to you.
Yeah. At least play the audio.
Yes.
At some point in the podcast so people
Dr. Lucas, that way.
Know that you're not just making it up.
It's true. It's Things from 1989. Get your copy now.
Back to arguing. Have you ever won an argument on the internet?
The question is, have I ever lost an argument?
Well, how do you know that you've won?
The other person, you get the last word. That's how you win an argument.
So if they stop talking,
you win.
You win. Mm-hmm. So if they just don't say anything, what if they don't say anything for like months and then they come back months later and go, ha ha, and then that's it?
It's not an argument after a certain period of time. There's only like a certain time that
there's statute of limitations on arguments. Really?
So like if you arguing with somebody, but then you have to go to work, you better tweet from work to continue the argument, or else you look like you lost.
Oh, well, how long is the statute?
12 hours.
12 hours. So what if I wait 11 hours and 59 minutes from the last time you said
pushing
something?
You're pushing it.
So what? You said 12 hours. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I wait 11 hours and 59 minutes and then go, ha, you thought I was done, but I'm back. Boom.
And you're going to tackle that in a minute? What if something comes up? What if all of a sudden there's a hurricane?
Okay, fine. I would have it scheduled to do that. I can schedule.
So you just like save the tweet and then you could say, hey, Bixby.
I go on Hootsuite and schedule the thing for 11 hours and 59 minutes.
I love Hootsuite and the Blowfish. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite band.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's my worst band.
It's the worst band. People also argue about music on the internet, which I find funny. Because, hey, this is something that I like based on my own personal taste. And everyone's like, you fucking suck.
That goes all the way back to Rec Music Industrial, where every single post on it would be, is Trent Reznor 9 Inch Nails industrial? They go back and forth.
Who fucking cares?
This was a very contentious point. Everybody had something to say about it.
Okay.
Same thing with Who's better, Mike or Joel?
Oh,
million replies.
Okay.
Million replies.
Yeah. Well, who was better, Mike or Joel?
Yes.
Yeah. Man, what about Jonah now? We got that one.
Who?
He's the new one on the Netflix series.
I don't watch that.
I know.
I don't like Joel. Joel's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, you didn't like Joel.
Mike is nice. Mike is a great person. Joel, not so much.
He's got dimples.
Yes, he does.
He does.
I was telling Mike that he looks better now than he was like back when he was doing the show.
No, really?
He didn't reply to me though. I also said, by the way, this was a compliment, but I think he thinks I was hitting on him, which I was.
Well, I mean, you did send that with, a picture of you jerking off to a picture of him.
Usually when I send messages to people, it's like, you got uglier, you got fatter, you got older. So that's probably what he was expecting. It's just like, whoa, you just throw me a curveball here.
You send me that message every morning.
Yes.
6 a.m. That's my wake up is Rich is texting me that says, hey, you're older and fatter and uglier.
Yeah. 1 out of 300. It just keeps going.
It's a thread.
Yes. The thing's wrong with Jonathan Weir.
1/ well, he thinks that he's not getting older, fatter, and uglier, but 2/
Actually,
I fucking hate threads. It ruins Twitter for me. Because people are like, I like Twitter because you just have to say everything once and then you're done.
Yeah.
And now it's like, hey, no. So long as I just put a number at the bottom, then I can make. I've seen like threads that go up to 150.
I just like it when
Why don't you just write a fucking blog post, link to it, and then say, hey, here's the thing that you can read.
I like when they do that, except they type 1 million characters in Twitter, then take a screenshot of it, and then post it. It's just like, if I could write over 140 characters, this is what I'd write. So you have to click on the person's Twitter account to see the Twitter post of a screenshot that they made.
Or when they say, I just wrote this on Instagram, ... and it's a link to Instagram. And I go, I like Twitter and I use Facebook so people know that my children are still alive, but I have no idea what any of the other stuff is.
You should just start a website called Are Jonathan's Kids Alive?
Yeah, that's a good, and I have an ominous countdown.
Yeah. And there'd be like a sign that says like 100 days since last child's death.
And then one day just change it to 0, take one of the kids off. No, I put like a loner kid on there.
Yeah.
Like some girl with pigtails and shit. And then just remove her one day and set the clock back to 0.
No, there's a big red X over the kid's face. R.I.P. in peace, Penelope.
I don't know if my mom would be like, wait, did they have another kid? It's been so long since I visited.
And then somebody would have a wiki of it. The first child to die under Jonathan's reign was... I like it.
Yeah.
There should be more websites dedicated to people dying.
I think there's enough.
No, there's more.
Oh, you mean a countdown to death, though?
Yes, countdown to death.
Well, you could do that. I mean, really, it's just your own death. When you think about
it. Like a suicide countdown?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I mean, it's not even a countdown. I guess you just have a clock running on how many days old you are.
Death clock.
Death clock. And then say, eventually, it'll stop and I'll be dead.
But what if the website gets taken offline before you die?
That'll never happen.
Well, it's something about death. I mean, the new overlords, Google, can like pull whatever they want, whenever they want.
You use Amazon servers.
No, I'm saying search rankings, because if somebody's searching for when is somebody going to die, Google might put your like 8 pages down.
Do you remember the guy who got blocked from Twitter for threatening a mosquito?
Yes.
He killed a mosquito and said, that's what you get for biting me, you motherfucker, with the picture of a mosquito, and then Twitter blocked him.
Yeah.
There's also a guy who got blocked from Twitter for saying he'd fuck Tony the Tiger.
These are all horrible problems that we have to deal with in this.
It's because Twitter has farmed out what is offensive to a computer. So which makes you think of like, I tweet out like, you know what? Fuck artificial intelligence. The computers will never run my life. Would I be blocked immediately from Twitter?
You'd be killed in real life.
They would come for me.
Yeah. Like in the movie Ghost in the Machine, the machine would kill you. Because it's got Ghost in it.
With the same album by the Police.
No.
Yep.
Future? Oh.